Is it canon to the MCU is a question frequently brought up when we start talking about Marvel TV produced by Marvel Entertainment, because again, that was a whole separate division from Marvel Studios. So let's talk about the Abomination, and why many people believe that the events of She-Hulk and what happens with Abomination completely decanonizes Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I waited a bit of time just to see if they would ever actually address this whole scenario when it comes to Marvel Studios and what happens with Abomination, but I guess they're never really going to. But essentially, ever since Marvel Studios and She-Hulk revealed that Emil Blonsky, aka Abomination, was locked up by Damage Control, people believe that what happened in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now completely makes that series non-canon once again. Now, in case you missed this, because again, it's been quite a long time. Back when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. first hit TV, there was this whole thing called the Rising Tide, which was normal people exposing that superheroes exist among us, and that was a whole story. They were going to be doing kind of like the Freak of the Week deal and all that, and it featured actual clips from other movies in the MCU at the time, and they specifically featured clips of Abomination and the whole thing that happened. But there's a specific line in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where Agent Coulson mentions that Abomination was put on ice. He reveals that Abomination is in Alaska and that he is inside of a containment cell, a cryo cell, aka he's been, well, put to cryo sleep, if you will. So yeah, they put him in the fridge, which we saw in episode 3 of the first season. Now this is where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would reveal that they also put other higher security threats. But here's what's more important here, because people are only looking at the line from She-Hulk and ignoring the fact that when the Hydra uprising happens, the fridge was raided, and effectively the facility was shut down and every dangerous asset was transferred elsewhere to be kept under control. Now, as we also learned, the Department of Damage Control really comes into the forefront after the events of the Avengers, and they start setting up that in the one-shot. So again, it's a very real possibility that Emil was literally on ice in the fridge, but when everything happened, the move of assets was acquired by Damage Control, and they literally picked up everything. And we literally see that in Spider-Man Homecoming, when we see one of their facilities where they just have all sorts of things, and you can tell in She-Hulk that they're using a lot of technology that we've seen elsewhere. So I don't think it makes it non-canon. I just think, for lack of a better term, he's been, well, spent the majority of his time literally in the Department of Damage Control's hands and not the fridge. Because in the fridge, it was literally like a blink of an eye to him because he was frozen.